Okay, there we go. We hit the click buttons this time.
All right, Lynn, you just asked me how do we stop living on social media. You know, I don't know if it's possible to stop living on social media completely, but it's just kind of on a personal level. It's more about being aware of yourself, stopping a few times a day and saying, what am I doing? How much time am I spending on there? One of the things I did was I turned off the notifications so that every time a tweet came in, you know, I wasn't getting that ding. Every time something was posted, I wasn't getting that ding that would distract me and make me go look right away. So now I can actually get work done. And, you know, just scheduling the time to do your socials like you schedule the time to do anything else. Instead of making yourself available 24/7 nonstop, if you don't have to for your business, I mean, some people have to for their business, but if that's not your business, then, you know, schedule your time. I will say I'm going to go on my socials today because my calendar is clear this morning and I don't have, you know, my clients or the other stuff to do with, so I will spend a little time on my socials. And then I will do that, but I won't spend all day with it. I don't have my notifications turned on. I personally don't have anything that's urgent in the services that I provide. And if I do have something urgent, my clients all have my phone number. They can text message me. So that I will pay attention to all the time. And, you know, switching from having my long-term clients from always having to contact me through social to just contacting me directly. I got over the fear of giving out my phone number. And that's been really helpful.
And people have called me nuts for giving out my phone number directly live on the podcast. They say it's very brave of you to do that, but I feel like text messaging part of our life, and if people need to get in contact, they can contact us. I mean, I know individuals that put their phone number on their website, and they're very open about it. No, and I'm like, yeah, put my phone number. I don't care. I mean, I've got no stalkers on my phone, and it's very nice if you can get personal contact.
Yes, it is. And text messaging makes it very easy to keep in contact with your clients and be available to them when they need you.
No.
I'll be honest, I don't put my cell phone number on my website. I still use my Google Voice number for that. But when they contact, it comes through as a text message. But then once I make a contact and they become a client, I give them my regular cell phone number. That's a more direct line. I'm not quite as brave as you yet, Lynn, but you've always been the leader. So.
But we'll get you to that point. First, baby steps. Baby steps, Meilani. Baby steps. I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation, I never thought I would be having this conversation with you about getting off social media. I never thought that you would be quitting the TGI Friday business hangouts. I never thought that I would be having this conversation with you. I mean, it's changed and it's changed for the better. And when I talked to you on Twitter, you said you were moving too, which...
Yes. I'm going to be moving in probably the near future. I'll be moved out by probably January. But that's just, personal business that, the whole relationship and then breaking up and then, splitting up the house and all that stuff. So I don't want to go into that.
Good. Good. But
it's a time of change and a lot of change happening both professionally and personally. So,
Yeah.
It's stuff to look forward to, and that's the other part of it. Is the other thing that I found that's really a big life lesson of how to stay sane is to still always be grateful, even in the face of adversity, because at first I was like, oh no, I'm going to lose my house, blah, 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 and I love this house, and so I was really, really upset. But then I had to start, just you give yourself a little time to get over that, and then I just started thinking about the future and like, okay, so now it's a chance to start over. I'm going to find a new place. Where am I going to live? Where do I want to move? It's my opportunity to start with a clean slate and just choose where I want to go from here. So that's it, and always focusing on the things in your life that you have to be grateful for takes the focus off the things in your life that are bringing you down. So you have the choice to focus on one or the other. Choose to focus on the positive.
And you can either have, speaking of social media, you can either have the Instagram perfect lifestyle, or you can be real as heck on Instagram and say, look, what's going on. I interviewed a woman right before your interview, and her interview is coming out. It's coming out in the next few days, or it may be coming out today. I haven't decided. But I found her on LinkedIn because she did a real, raw, and live video, and it caught me off guard how she did it, and she did a fabulous job. So, again, you can have the Instagram perfect lifestyle, or you can be real, and you can have these behind-the-scenes moments and not share everything on social media. I think that's the big thing, is that we have to learn how to quit sharing on social media, because we have to now guard our bodies, our brains, and souls.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because, I mean, really people just started going online, about 20 years ago or so? And so it's kind of like a big, societal experiment in some ways. We had no way of knowing what the ramifications were, what the effects would be. We found all the good things, and now we're starting to see some of the other things coming out too. And I think, but there's awareness too. I think it's kind of a shift, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be fine.
We'll see what happens.
As long as you pace yourself like you have. You've chosen the venue that you like the best, Twitter, so you're not spreading yourself too thin on the other ones anymore, and you're able to dedicate the time that you need to on the one that you're enjoying. And I'm actually quite impressed with your podcasts, and even more so with the whole organized way that you've made it very easy and user-friendly for your guests.
I try.
So
I know it's because you guys don't know this, but I have started to give up my speaking on stage career because I can't do it anymore. I need humans to help me fly, and humans got busy and life got in the way. So I decided to start this podcast. And yes, we'll go into that on a different podcast, cerebral palsy and aging, which we all do age, disabled or not. But to get back to Meilani's point, and I've been stuck in those weird situations, getting myself on podcasts where they make it so dang difficult, and that I thought when I start a podcast or when I do a YouTube channel. I'm going to make it easy. I tried YouTube, but as you know, Meilani, to get people on YouTube to watch your videos, it's a hard as heck because they don't have the mobile capabilities. I mean, I remember a fan telling me, a fashion stylist fan telling me, I want to listen to your podcast, but I just don't have time to do it on YouTube. And I said, okay, there goes my YouTube out the door. But I tried to do a version of this podcast on YouTube, and it wasn't very successful because people didn't have the time to be multitasking and watching me do a YouTube. So I shut that down. And so I try and make it easy on my guests. I try and make it easy on myself. I'm in the easy mode myself because I've been stuck in those situations where it's like, I don't want to come on your podcast if you make me jump through hoops. And so that's what I am trying to do.
Well, I can tell you it's been a very smooth experience from, when we connected again on Twitter to you saying, hey, I'm doing this podcast, and then getting the email and with all the instructions from Danielle, your wonderful assistant, and then here, go to the intake form, and then there's the Google form with the questions, and then here, just call in this number. And I'm like, man, this could not be any easier. And it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because it's kind of gone full circle. I started out listening to podcasts and everything and then went over to YouTube, and now I'm going back to podcasts because just like you say, I can't sit there and watch the video, but I can listen and do stuff I need to do at the same time.
Yeah. Do stuff like clean up the house or walk a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, people, my biggest, the last time I checked though, I have to go back in and check, my biggest listener base is not in my home state of Colorado, believe it or not. It's in California. And I know why they're doing it because they are stuck in that commute and they just want something to listen to.
Yes, exactly.
And so I know
fortunately
exactly
not so much
why
for me.
California picks Ask Win Up as their podcast of choice because now these vehicles have CarPlay and have screens and have Bluetooth and have iPod hookups. I mean, radio, I was listening to the radio the other day. I was just in the car without iPod, and we had to borrow my another vehicle this past week, and the radio is like dying, and I'm like sitting there like, where's my iPod? And my dad goes immediately when we get back in his car, let's turn on the iPod because the radio is dying, and this was a modern vehicle, mind you. But we didn't have the luxuries of the iPod this week, and of course, and so it's like the radio, you can barely find anything on the radio now.
Yeah, agreed. And like my car has Bluetooth, so I bring in my phone and it connects to it, and I can listen to the podcast or whatever it is I want to listen to and make phone calls if I have to.
Or music or...
And doing too much when you're driving, a little bit is okay. As long as you're
anything now.
free.
And yes, we have to be hands-free because there is a law in California, and I think more states are implementing it, where there is a fine if you're not hands-free. I know that, Meilani. So yes,
big one.
People hook it up to Siri or hook it up to your vehicle system and listen to us when hands-free. I don't mind if you guys do that. tweet me while you're driving, because I'll be ashamed the moment I say that. If people send me tweets while they're driving, don't, because, that's not good. But with this new technology, we're not used to having the luxuries of having on-demand media in the palm of our hands. And so you guys have to be careful. But most of these vehicles now have Bluetooth, and most of these phones have Bluetooth, and we're just living in a society of social media, but yet Meilani and I are not bashing social media. We're just saying be careful with social media because it causes bad effects in the body.
You know what, when it's like anything else, too much of a good thing and it becomes a bad thing. Everything in moderation, right?
Yes,
and
everything in moderation. And
exactly.
Before I let you go, I want you to ask me a couple questions and these questions are not planned by me. I am going off the company, as you guys know, and since Meilani and I last spoke on Google Hangouts a long time ago now, I want to know what she has up her sleeve to ask me.
Well, actually, one of the things I wanted to ask you about, you've already delved into a little bit. I wanted to ask you about how you got so organized, how you managed to figure out how to do the whole podcast thing and do that intake process with your guests that made it so simple.
I tried Blog Talk Radio. That didn't work. The day it didn't work, I remember trying on Blog Talk Radio because it wouldn't let the guests in. Now, for those of you that don't know Blog Talk Radio is more antiquated than Google Hangouts is, and Google plus Hangouts and recording and YouTube is, because they don't update their system. So I made a commitment to myself that because of that Blog Talk Radio disaster, I made a commitment to myself and my team that I would make it easier for people to come on my podcast and find me. And I happened to get a great assistant in the world. She happens to be my BFF, and we're BFFs in real life. You guys know that. And so they say don't work with your friends in your company, but I have proved everyone wrong, because if you give a disabled person a project, they'll do it to the 10th degree. And I said, here, you do the scheduling. Do you want to take the scheduling on? Of course, I asked my BFF when we started this project. I said, do you want to take the scheduling on? She's like, yes, I want to help you with anything you need. And so here, I said, here, you take the scheduling on. So all I have to do is record the podcast, and then I have now gotten to the point where she will, as soon as I'm done with you, Meilani, I will text her, say, interview's done. She will go in and grab it, and then she will send it off to my editor if I choose, or just upload it to the podcast feed. So I don't even see my podcast feed anymore. I call myself lazy journalist. I'm like, let's make it easy. Let's make it easy on everyone. Let's not make it too complicated. And I noticed with Google Hangouts, the reason why I was so proud of you for doing Google Hangouts for so many years is because there was an extra element of technology walls, and I don't know how it is now. It's easier now because I did use Google Hangouts. So I used it to meet with my tutor, believe it or not, And last the semester before summer semester, and so Google Hangouts has gotten a lot better. But the reason why I was so proud of Meilani for doing it is because at the time she was doing it, it was daunting. And so when the Blog Talk video fell on me, I'm like, well, let's make it easy on everyone. So that's the story of my organizational chaos.
And you have a great team, and I love your answer that, you know, you don't have to deal with it. I gave it to someone else to deal with. She did a wonderful job.
I gave it to someone else to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, she sent me an email. It had the link. It took me to the calendar. I just chose what time I was available. Yeah. Then it sent me to the other form, fill out the form, and here's the phone number. It was great. It was wonderful.
Automatic calendars are wonderful. They just save you a ton of time, and I've used it on my end, and it pops up in Mountain Time and Meilani's Pacific Time, and these automatic calendars pop up, and it already sets to your time zone, and it already does have to work for you. That's why I haven't one. I'm like, I don't want to deal with all this email chaos and makes people mad at me.
Right. Lynn, can I give a promo to something real quick?
Yes.
Go?
Yes, go ahead. Go.
I want to give a shout out to Jennifer Edwards, who is the author of the last 2 books that I edited. And I'm real happy because she actually mentioned me in her dedication. So that made me like really excited. She thanked me in the dedication.
Well, and where can people find your editing, Meilani? Where can people find this book? Now I want to extend that promo because I want Jennifer to get sales. I know how hard it is to be an editor, and I know how hard it is to publish a book. But that technology has changed over the years.
Yeah, you can find both her books that I edited on Amazon as well as her other books as well. So one of the books is called Fire and Flame, The Red Demon, and it's actually book number 3 in a series of books that she's written in the fantasy genre about a culture of dragon folk. Who are shapeshifters and can take human form and dragon form. And she's got like a whole solar system and, you know, planets, and each planet has its own population with their own, you know, customs and ways and the way it's integrated together. I'm just blown away by this woman's imagination. It's wonderful, and it was so much fun to work on because that's the genre I love to read. So that one's called Fire and Flame, The Red Demon. And the second book is real fun because that one's called Raven, and she actually did this project with her then 12-year-old son. He's 13 now, but her son's name is Ashton. And so that is a whole different story altogether. He wanted to write a book with her, and he's not doing the actual writing, but what they would do is get together every night, and he would lay out the plot, the storyline. He had the story in his mind that he wanted to tell, and he would go over it with his mom, Jennifer, and then she would write it down, and then he would read it and say yes or no or change this or this is perfect, you know. So it was a collaboration between her and her son, which I think is really awesome to introduce the younger generation like that to something like writing, to something so creative and fantastic, and show him, you know, the possibilities of what's out there with his imagination and his storytelling and his love of gaming, actually, which also influenced it. And she turned that love of gaming, you know, some people have problems with their kids just being addicted to their games, but she found a way to take it and turn it into a creative outlet that was productive with this book.
I love it. I love it.
J.A. Edwards. Yeah.
And maybe.
And I recommended her to be a guest on your show, so hopefully she'll come soon, too.
I was going to say that. Maybe you can make an introduction to her because her books sound fascinating. I want to I want to dig down this rabbit hole even more with her because I know how hard it is to be an editor, and I know how hard it is to self-publish a book, and I am working on 2 publishing deals myself. One is panning out. The other one may pan out, it may not, because of logistical reasons, and so we'll see what happens. But
no, she's not actually self-published. She has a publisher.
Okay, good, because I'm like, well, if you're self-published, you have to do all the marketing for everything now, and so it's like, no. So I am going to have you contact her. And
well, guess what? Your amazing assistant, Danielle, has already been in contact with her. So
I bet. And Danielle doesn't even tell me these things, you guys. Danielle doesn't even tell me these things. They just magically appear on my schedule. And that's luxury of giving a person a job. And my ultimate dream is to actually pay Danielle to do this. And so that's the ultimate dream. If you can afford to have someone take the grunt work off your hands, do it. And if you can afford to get off social media, do it. And Meilani, I wish you the best of luck. And I'll seriously be turning to you in the next couple months here if my website goes down to help me get a WordPress website up and running, because I need it for my own personal space. And even though I have a great website on We Believe, I think I have a funny feeling that it's going to go down, so I might as well use you as my WordPress expert now, because
WordPress isn't going anywhere.
I don't know
what
like
the heck. 33% of websites are WordPress now.
33%.
Yeah.
So I have a funny feeling that my website is going to go down, and so Meilani is going to help me rescue it, and we're going to make it on WordPress when it goes down, because if Meilani can do it for free without a hosting fee, I can certainly do it for free. But as I said to you guys, I'm using We Believe, and I'm using a free system, and we seem to love it. But when it goes down, I am switching over to WordPress now that I have I was waiting for the expert in my field to come, but now that I do, I need to either switch it over to WordPress or have Meilani come and look at it, because I want to make it easy for people to get to it and easy to for people to manage it and easy for people to find it. And do you do SEO work, Meilani, or no?
No, not so much. I mean, I do the basics, but there's a really good plugin for SEO that you can put on your site by Yoast, and it does a lot of the SEO stuff for you, and it's kind of built in, and it says, put in your keywords and put in this and put in that.
Yeah.
So, again, with WordPress, they make it very user-friendly. It's sort of like websites for dummies. WordPress exists because they wanted to make it easy for regular people to make their own websites instead of having to always go and hire a webmaster.
Exactly, WordPress for dummies. Well, that being said, now that you just said it, let me talk to Danielle, who is my assistant, and see what we can do. See if she wants to do the whole WordPress transfer thing, and then you and I can talk offline, because now that I found someone, I might as well use your services to help me. I might as well use you. I mean, you're the expert on this. I'm not. So that's the other thing. I hire the experts to help me and help if my website goes down because of the popular traffic I'm getting. It's going to be a problem. I know it's one of a WordPress website that stays up, but we'll see what.
Yeah, they're very stable. Very stable. So
I've been told
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. So that will be my project, to talk to Danielle and see if she agrees to it. Then we'll contact each other offline. And then where can people find you, and what's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Well, my information is all listed on the website, so I guess that's still the easiest way, which is onemeilani.wordpress.com, and that's the number 1, meilani.wordpress.com. They can also email me, MacDonald@gmail.com, MeilaniMacDonald@gmail.com. And again, my email and my phone number, my information, my contact info is on the website. I'm also on Twitter, and I am on Facebook. However, as we've been talking about, I don't check those anywhere nearly as often as I used to.
We're taking a detox, and so it's easier. It's actually.
You know what? You're inspiring me. I'm gonna give out my phone number. I'm gonna give out my actual phone number because you've inspired me to be brave like you.
Be brave.
So and this is the first time I'm doing this. Win is on your show, the very first time.
Yes, the very first time. Be brave.
760-957-6401, and they can text me there.
And they can text you there, or what's easiest is take Meilani's email address, which has been Meilani's email address for years, beyond belief. And so I'm actually, believe it or not, you guys, I'm going to take a detox from Twitter after talking to Meilani. I need to now take a detox from Twitter, so I'm declaring that on my show starting in September, because I go back to day job in September, and so day job doesn't necessarily allow Twitter, which is a good thing, and I don't want to be putting my kids at risk. I say my kids because I teach them. I don't want to be putting any kids at risk. So in September, starting September 1, you're not going to find me on Twitter. You will find the podcast on Twitter, but I'm going to take detox off Twitter. So the best place to contact me is via email, just like Meilani said. My email is aspenwin@gmail.com, and you guys, and my phone number is also listed on the website, and my assistant has my phone number. My phone number is 970-618-8840, but I will put a caveat to Meilani's phone number. She's in Pacific time, so don't wake her up too early, you guys. Yes. Do not wake up too early, otherwise she'll kill
Well, you know what? I also learned how to use my nighttime, turn off my notifications. Good. So turning off your notifications has been key.
Turning off notifications has been key. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys will follow Meilani's and my lead on social detoxes, because they're wonderful. I did the first one on Facebook, and I've been dying to get off Twitter. Meilani's inspired me to step back from social media, but you guys can still find me on email, and that's the best way to get in contact with me. Or you guys can just Google Ask Win, and I hope you guys enjoyed a fabulous episode of Ask Win with the WordPress expert, Meilani MacDonald. That's what I'm calling her now because she doesn't do as much Google Hangouts anymore.
Right.
So now she's the WordPress
and
expert.
editing. I love editing.
Editing, too.
And editing.
Books.
Editing and WordPress, my two loves.
Editing, editing and WordPress. And once she gets her life organized, she'll be back on the planet. But as I said, you can reach both of us via email, and that's how we're leaving. Thanks to you guys. Bye.
Thank you so much, Wynn, for the opportunity to be on your wonderful podcast. And thank you, Danielle.
You are welcome. Bye.
Wonderful experience. Bye-bye.